Okay, so I need to tell you something that I wish someone had told me years before I actually did this. I was 58 years old. I had a decent job, a mortgage, a pretty ordinary life in the suburbs of Phoenix, Arizona. And every single month, I was watching my bank account just drain. Slowly, quietly, like a leak you can't find. Groceries, health insurance, the car, utilities. And I kept doing the math over and over, and the math just didn't work. My Social Security wasn't gonna kick in for another 4 years. My retirement savings were okay. Not great. Okay. So one day I just Googled, can I actually live on $1,400 a month somewhere? And that Google search changed my entire life. Because the answer was yes. Not just yes, but a very comfortable, full, beautiful yes. Today I'm gonna walk you through exactly what I found, what I did, what it actually costs, and, most importantly, the stuff that nobody on YouTube or in those retirement magazines ever actually talks about. The real stuff. The uncomfortable stuff. The stuff you need to know before you make any decisions. So, grab your coffee. Let's get into it. Section 1, the numbers that broke my brain. Let me start with the data. Because I'm a numbers person. And these numbers, honestly, still blow my mind a little bit when I look at them. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American aged 55 to 64 spends about $5,700 a month. That's the average. That's housing, food, transportation, healthcare, everything. In Phoenix, where I was living, the MIT Living Wage Calculator puts a comfortable single adult's budget at right around $4,800 to $5,200 a month. After taxes. Now here's where it gets interesting. Here's the part that made me sit down and just stare at the wall for a while. The International Living Annual Global Retirement Index 2025, which surveys and analyzes retirement destinations around the world, found that a single American can live comfortably in countries like Portugal, Greece, Mexico, and Colombia for between $1,200 and $2,000 a month. Total. Everything included. We're talking rent, food, utilities, healthcare, transportation, entertainment, everything. Think about what that means for a second. If you have $1,400 a month coming in from Social Security, a pension, a small retirement account, whatever, you can live more comfortably in a lot of countries than most Americans live on $5,000 a month at home. And that's not me being dramatic. That's just arithmetic. A 2024 survey by Expat Insider, which polled over 12,000 expats globally, found that 72% of American expats over the age of 50 reported a higher quality of life abroad than they had back home. 72%. And the number one reason they gave? Lower cost of living. Now, I know what you're thinking. Because I thought the same thing. But what about healthcare? What about safety? What about being far from family? What about Social Security? What about Medicare? I'm gonna hit all of that. I promise. But first, let me show you what $1,400 a month actually looks like in the real world. Section 2. What $1,400 actually buys you. Let me give you some real numbers. Not brochure numbers. Not best-case scenario numbers. Real, current, 2025 numbers from people who are actually living this. Portugal, Lisbon versus smaller cities. Lisbon has gotten expensive, I won't sugarcoat that. A one-bedroom in central Lisbon is now running $900 to $1,300 a month in rent. That's too much for a $1,400 budget. But here's what the YouTube videos don't tell you: most Americans who move to Portugal don't live in central Lisbon. They live in cities like Braga, Setúbal, Évora, Aveiro, and in those cities, a beautiful, furnished one-bedroom is still running $500 to $700 a month. So your $1,400 budget in a smaller Portuguese city looks something like this. Rent, $600, groceries, $200, utilities plus internet, $80, dining out, 3-4x/week $150, health insurance, private $100 to $150, transport, $50, miscellaneous, $120. Total, $300 to $1,350 a month. And you have money left over. Mexico, Lake Chapala, Mérida, Oaxaca. Mexico is actually the most popular retirement destination for Americans right now. The Association of Americans Resident Overseas estimates over 1.5 million Americans live in Mexico, more than any other country. In the Lake Chapala/Ajijic area, which has the largest English-speaking expat community in the world, a comfortable one-bedroom runs $400 to $700 a month. Restaurants are $5 to $12 for a full sit-down meal. Private health insurance for a healthy 58-year-old? Around $80 to $120 a month. In Mérida, Yucatan, which International Living named one of the world's best places to retire in 2025, your budget stretches even further. Safe, walkable, gorgeous colonial architecture, amazing food. And your $1,400? Goes very far. Greece, the 2025 surprise. Here's one that surprised me when I was doing research: Greece. Most people don't think of Greece as a budget retirement destination. But the International Living 2026 Global Retirement Index, released just this past January, ranked Greece as the #1 retirement destination in the world. Number 1. Outside of Athens and Santorini, you can rent a lovely one-bedroom apartment for $450 to $700 a month. The food is incredible. The weather is spectacular, 300 days of sunshine a year on the islands. And the people are genuinely warm. Greece also has a 7% flat tax rate for foreign retirees, a program they introduced to attract international residents. That's significantly lower than what most Americans pay. Section 3, the things nobody tells you. Okay. This is the part one really want to get into. Because all those retire abroad for cheap videos will show you the beautiful scenery and the cheap rent. But there are things, real things, that can catch you completely off guard if you're not prepared. 1. The loneliness factor is real. I'm gonna be honest with you about this one. It's real. A 2023 study by the American Psychological Association found that social isolation is one of the top mental health challenges reported by American expats, especially in the first 6 to 18 months. You leave your friends, your routines, your favorite coffee shop. Your family is a flight away. And if you go to a country where you don't speak the language, it can get lonely. Especially in the beginning. The antidote? Community. The most successful expats I've met, the ones who are genuinely thriving, deliberately seek out community. They join expat groups, language classes, local clubs, volunteer organizations. You have to build your social life intentionally. It doesn't just happen. 2. Healthcare is actually better than you think, but it's complicated. This is the big one, right? This is the thing that stops most Americans from even considering this. What about my health care? Here's the reality. In most of the popular retirement destinations, Portugal, Mexico, Colombia, Greece, Spain, Costa Rica, private health insurance for a healthy 58 to 65-year-old runs $80 to $200 a month. And the quality of care at private hospitals in these countries is excellent. The World Health Organization ranks France number 1, Italy number 2, and Spain number 7 in world healthcare. The US is ranked number 37. And yet, we pay the most in the world. Now, the complication. Medicare does not cover you outside the United States. Let me say that again because I want it to be crystal clear. Medicare does not cover you when you live abroad. That means if you move abroad before you're Medicare eligible, you need to factor private insurance into your budget. And even after you turn 65, Medicare is essentially useless to you if you're living overseas. For most people I've talked to, private international health insurance runs $100 to $250 a month depending on age and coverage level. Totally manageable within a $1,400 budget. 3. Your Social Security is safe, but taxes vary. Big question, can I still collect Social Security if I live abroad? The answer, for most countries, is yes, absolutely. The Social Security Administration will deposit your check directly into a U.S. bank account or, in many countries, directly into a local bank account. You can receive your full Social Security benefit from virtually anywhere in the world, with a few exceptions like Cuba and North Korea. The tax situation is more nuanced. The U.S. taxes its citizens on worldwide income, meaning you still file U.S. taxes no matter where you live. However, tax treaties with many countries can reduce or eliminate double taxation. A good expat tax accountant, and yes, they specialize in this, is worth their fee. 4. The adjustment period is harder than the finances. You know what I didn't expect? How hard the identity adjustment would be. When you move abroad, especially in retirement, you are no longer defined by your job title. You're no longer near the people who know your whole history. You have to figure out who you are, what your days look like, what gives your life meaning, without the default structure of American life telling you. For some people, that's liberating. For others, it's disorienting. And for most people, it's both. At different times. A 2024 Stanford Center on Longevity study on retirement transitions found that the biggest predictor of happiness in retirement isn't money, it's purpose and social connection. The money matters. The money is what makes this possible. But purpose is what makes it good. Section 4, the practical checklist, before you do anything. Okay, so let's bring this back to earth. Let's say you're interested. Let's say the idea is starting to feel real. What do you actually need to figure out? Step 1, know your monthly income number. What is actually coming in every month? Social Security, pension, retirement account distributions, part-time work, everything. Be honest. Step 2, know your current monthly spend. Not what you think you spend. What your bank statement actually says you spend. Track it for one real month. Step 3, research your visa options. Most countries have specific visa categories for retirees. Portugal has the D7 passive income visa. Mexico has the temporary resident visa. Greece has a retirement visa. These aren't hard to get if your finances qualify, but they do have requirements. Step 4, do a test run. Before you sell your house and ship your stuff, go. Spend 30 to 90 days. Stay in an Airbnb or a furnished rental. Live there. Not vacation there. Live there. See if it actually fits. Step 5. Talk to an expat tax accountant. I cannot stress this enough. The tax implications of living abroad are real and specific. A 1-hour consultation with someone who specializes in this can save you thousands, and a lot of stress. OUTRO. Look, I'm not gonna tell you this is the right decision for everyone. It's not. Some people love where they live. Some people have grandkids they want to see every weekend. Some people would be miserable without their routines and their community and their favorite sports team's local bar. I get it. I genuinely do. But if you are sitting there, doing that same math I was doing, and the numbers just don't work, I want you to know that there is another way to look at this. The AARP's 2024 Retirement Confidence Survey found that 46% of Americans aged 55 to 64 are worried they will outlive their retirement savings. Nearly half. And a big part of why that number is so high is because most people only see one option: stay in America, spend American prices, and hope the money holds out. There's another option. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying there aren't trade-offs. There are. I've lived them. But the trade-offs are worth having a conversation about. They're worth knowing about. That's what this channel is for. If this video was useful to you, subscribe. I'm putting out real, honest, data-backed content about the actual cost of living abroad every single week. Not sponsored fluff. Not brochure content. Real information. And drop a comment below. Tell me, what's the biggest thing holding you back from even considering this? I read every single one. I want to know. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. And remember, the math might work better than you think.